fresh off the back of a winning first day for the bookies at the Cheltenham Festival. The Stakehouse is here for you, so never
Bookies or
fear.
you?
Never fear. We're here to give some respite from the horses with some Premier League tips for the upcoming game week. I'm Conal McCabe. I'm joined once again by the data guru. It's Lucas Dazinski. How you doing, Lucas?
Yeah, good. Although I think the bookies won off me today. I don't think I had as much success I'd do on a horse race than I was doing a football, but there you go.
I mean, I'm normally the same, and overall the bookies did bash the punters today with two heavy favourites losing. But
That was big.
it went okay for me personally, which is a lot better than it went for me during the last game week, which I'm sure you're in a rush to point out as well.
Yeah, your bloody, was it 50 million to one acca? But obviously nothing came in.
I don't know how it
This
lost.
one time I was like, I'm gonna back it in case it comes in. Nothing came in. Nothing.
Can you do me a favour and never back my bets ever again? Because
I
clearly,
don't think even any of those players probably had a shot on target or anything like that.
clearly you're the problem.
And I put it in a lucky as well.
Look, it was a bad
Cautious.
week. It was a bad week. What I would say, I did have one player, Jaden Philogene, who I tipped up for Ipswich. He registered 0.67 goals worth of XG. I got on him at 8.4. So if he had notched, then obviously I still would have come out profitable. However,
He's playing against Forest next. You go in again.
I mean, Forest are a bit of a meaner defence, but we're not here for hard luck stories. We're here for winners. So let's bear that in mind and move swiftly straight on into our first
You only as
game.
good as your last bet, right?
Well, hopefully, let's get another bet done quickly.
Last winning bet. You're only as good as your last winning bet.
I prefer that. All right, Everton versus West Ham. What you got?
I'm back in Everton. I think the price is I think the price is not reflective of Everton where they are. I think Everton, honestly, last 10 games since whatever it is, 8, since Moyes come in, he's been revelation. They're smashing teams, winning well. West Ham's still a bit it's going to take a few more games for Potter to have that impact that Moyes had. It's a big job there. I've said it before, it's a massive job. You were like, Lopetegui can come in, sort it out. No, you can't. I don't think Potter can anytime soon. I'll get to Chase. I think this is probably going to be my nap, to be honest. I'm back in Everton -1/4. So basically, if Everton draw, we get half our money back. Everton win, you win. At the moment, that price is 1.82. So it has come in a bit. I got on at 1.87 only in a week. If you want a bit more ballsy, you can do Everton win 2.1. So, yeah, I think that's a safe bet at home. Everton, they've been playing well.
I mean, I can't wait for the day that you stop reminding me about Lopetegui. Anyway, to be honest with you, I fully agree with this shout. I've tipped Everton as well, but I've tipped them straight win. They're actually at 2.2 on the exchange, which I've just checked.
2.2, really?
2.2, yeah. So that's available. I agree with everything you said. In terms of West Ham, I think Potter did have a little bounce when he came in terms of getting the players behind him and getting them playing for them. But now that it's kind of, he's past the honeymoon period. And West Ham the other night at home to Newcastle, last night, they were so lethargic. It feels like they're very over-reliant on Bowen and Kudos. And if neither of those two make the impact they need to, they're going to struggle. So I'm all over Everton win. This is an official tip for me also. So that's a game where both of us on a very similar bet. I've decided to go outright win at 2.2. Ipswich versus Forest. What do you think of this one?
I mean, look, I backed Ipswich last week to get a win or draw against City. It came in, but I mean, this run that they're on has to end. They're not smashing teams on XG at all. So it's coming to an end sometime. I don't think it's going to be against Ipswich. I think they should probably win this. My model's got Forest 0.38 goals better, so I expect it to be a close game. But Forest should go out on top. But look, they're going to hit a bad spell soon. It's any minute now, I think. But I don't think it's going to be this game.
Exactly the same. Again, I see it very similarly to you. They're obviously outperforming their metrics. I get that completely. But they're away at Ipswich. I mean, I just, again, you know how I feel about promoted sides this time of year. Ipswich just don't fill me with any confidence whatsoever. I think they're in trouble. I also think Forest are set up to play better away from home than they do at home.
Sit back and chill.
With the mid to low block and then hitting them on the break, they've got such pace on the counter. I think they're the most exciting counter-attacking team in the Prem, even with their reduced metrics. I think Forest 2.1's value. Even though the performance levels are low, I think Forest at 2.1's value, so I put it up as an official tip. So you got 2 from me already.
All right.
And I've got another one in the next game, which I'll lead straight on into. It's City versus Brighton. It's like, are City back? Are City not back? We had a long debate on this last week. I'm quickly coming to the conclusion that City are not back. And yeah, I just think Brighton are on an incredible run. I think they've won their last 6 games now. So they're on fire. They got it done in a marginal one against Fulham the weekend.
They got pretty lucky, to be honest, last minute penalty.
They did get a bit lucky, but ultimately this game will suit them. They'll go to the Etihad with not too much pressure. They're back in the hunt for the Champions League. Obviously, City now in a top 4 battle. Their fans will be expectant here. Brighton at home is just not the sort of game when you need a pick-me-up after a few bad results. And I think that City at 1.7-ish, it just feels too skinny to me. It really does. And looking at Brighton I've gone handicap here. I didn't feel comfortable taking Brighton at the win price. But Brighton plus 0.75 comes in at 2.02. So what this means is if we place this bet and if Brighton draw or win, we win the bet. And if Brighton lose by 1 goal, we only lose half of our stake. So at just over even money, this feels like a good shot. And I've made this one official as well.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
Nothing really, to be honest. But I got City as 0.7 goals better. So even though City aren't back, I think they should win.
Interesting. Okay. Do you also think Wolves will win at Southampton?
I watched some of the Everton game. Bear in mind, I had a few drinks, so can't really remember much of it, being honest. But
it's always cutting edge tipping over here at the
Stakehouse. To be honest, I watched Match of the Day on Sunday, so I had a look through it. Look, Wolves got lucky to get a draw there. They're playing against Southampton though. Like Cunha's obviously like really important for them. He's not playing this game. Southampton are dreadful. I mean, it's not going to be an exciting game. I'm definitely not going to watch it. I mean, it's probably not televised, is it? Hopefully not.
I don't think so.
I'm not getting a dodgy stream for it either. Not that I do that anyway, FYI. But no, I've got no interest in betting on this game. Maybe Wolves edge it. Like I got Wolves at 0.63 goals better, but Cunha's probably a bit of an impact on that, but still think Wolves the better team. But I mean, Southampton are relegated, right? I think they need to probably win like every single game now. So I mean, if they need this is like a must win for them against the relegation rival. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I mean, just to be clear, in terms over here at the Stakehouse, we are against all forms of piracy. Just kidding, we're not really. Do what you like. In terms of this one, I think what you said at the end there is really important. This matters more to Wolves than Southampton. You're calling this must win for Southampton. It isn't, right? They're down.
No. Like if Wolves, I mean, yeah, it's a must win. Yeah, it's must win for both teams, but equally,
Southampton are down.
Yeah, they are down. But
whether they win or not, they're down, and they know that, and the manager knows that, and the players know that, and the fans know that.
Okay, but equally, if Wolves get a point, that won't be the end of the world for them.
I disagree. This is yes, there's a little bit of a gap, right? There's 5-6 points between the bottom 3, but this is their chance in my head.
To
confirm safety. If they win this game, right, and Ipswich lose at home to Forest,
to be honest, yeah,
it's done.
To be honest, like Wolves still need to play Ipswich away, and Leicester at home. But yeah, I mean, I agree. If they win that, then
if they win and they put in 8 to 9 points, currently 6 points a gap, right? So if they win this, Ipswich lose at home to Forest, which I predict they will. That's 9 points.
Yeah, that's done.
It's
Yeah.
9 points, and I think Wolves have a massive, massive chance here to.
It's going to be like the worst relegation scrap ever, right? Because
Yeah,
it's
it's
going to be
like
decided like
it's what
whatever
we've all
game.
said for months, though. The three came up are going back down, and I think what Southampton will also be doing is they'll be looking at Sheffield United. Right, Sheffield United were diabolical last year, but they came a point a bit earlier than this last season where Sheffield United realised they were going down. They stopped almost not stopped trying to win games, but basically put full effort into preparation for the championship, right? And that's now paying dividends because it looks like they're coming straight back up. Shout out to Chris Wilder, by the way. What a job he's done there. And I think that Southampton will be drawing inspiration from that. And I think right now, what's more important is prepping for next season because they're not staying up. They're absolutely not.
Yeah.
And Wolves will look at this as a huge opportunity. Wolves have got too much quality for Southampton. I couldn't believe the 2.16 price on a Wolves win. Is definitely an official tip.
Right.
So I've tipped up all four officially so far. The fifth one, you'd be pleased to know I don't have an official bet on. It's your side, so I thought I'd let you take it away. It's Bournemouth versus Brentford.
I feel like that usually I'm quite biased towards Brentford, but I feel like we're going to get smashed up.
Even you can't find the optimism with this one.
Nah, I mean the Villa game was just so poor. I think first half was alright, then we conceded that goal, but then going forward we had nothing. We were just playing balls into the area. When you got Visser trying to win headers and against bloody Mings, who's like 6'5" or whatever, he's a massive unit. Like what they're doing, like is we need like Thiago back, like a proper centre forward for games like that. Look, Villa played us at our own game, right? They scored and then just sat back the rest of the game. Saying that, look, we might do the same to Bournemouth, right? Sit back and play on a break. We're good at that. But look, Bournemouth looked so good against Tottenham. I'm raging because I had Bournemouth 0 on age handicap, 2-0 up, bottled it.
That was very unlucky not to
That
win
was super unlucky, but still,
Yeah.
like they should have been like 4-0 up sort of thing, game long gone. But yeah, I got nothing on this, but I expect Bournemouth to kind of win this. I'm not expecting anything with Brentford, so maybe that's a good thing. And if they get a result, they get a result.
I just think Bournemouth are a class act. They really are. I mean,
Yeah.
they were so good at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. How they didn't win that game is absolutely beyond me.
Yeah.
Spurs, I don't know how they got a result. In terms of this one, I feel like Brentford's have had a good season. It's been a fairly good recovery from last season where they did almost flirt with relegation in the end. They've got back to mid-table kind of, I don't want to say mediocrity, I want to say more stability. Now is the season in a little bit of danger of petering out. That's what I would worry for them. They're still capable, as you say, of pulling a result here. My gut feeling is that Bournemouth will edge it, but it's not an
easy.
official tip. All right, Arsenal versus Chelsea. What are you thinking?
I've said this before. Chelsea are just so hit and miss, right? But then again, Arsenal haven't really been great last few games against United. I don't think they look their best, right? I actually don't really have a bet on this, but on paper, I think Arsenal are the better side. Not sure. This probably could be a draw, I don't really have a bet for this.
Okay. I mean, ultimately, if you watched Monday Night Football last night, and they did a really good graphic on Arsenal's chance creation.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting on Arsenal's
Yeah.
back in terms of not buying a number 9, all of
Yeah.
which is completely true. But
They're
they
really good
also,
at defensively, though, right? So
there's no point having a brilliant number 9 if you aren't giving them the chances to score goals. And
yeah.
I think that's been a key issue for Arsenal. They've really missed Bukayo Saka. I think that's like a huge miss for them in the last few weeks. There's nobody really, you look at Martinelli's kind of lost form. You look at Trossard, who's okay. Is he a title-winning player? I'm not sure. Ethan Nwaneri is obviously an incredible talent, but he's still very young. Of course, consistency is a bit more of an issue at that stage of your career.
Yeah.
So there's all of these things that are kind of making it difficult for Arsenal to create chances. For Chelsea, Cole Palmer's obviously gone right off the boil. Nicholas Jackson probably isn't good enough. where do their goals really come from at the moment? You don't actually they don't seem to have a
Yeah,
settled
Palmer
attacking
hasn't
element.
scored or done anything in like last. Well, he's got like 2 goals or like
Yeah,
one like in the last 8 or 10 games. Like,
it's been very quiet. And ultimately, this is a nice game, I think, for Chelsea because all the pressure's on Arsenal here in terms of getting the win. But I think there is a bet for this game. It's the unders under 2.5. I don't think this will be a heavy goal heavy game for the reasons I've just given.
yeah,
The unders is 1.87. It's not bad. I wouldn't even be shocked if this game ends 0-0. So if you want to live a little bit more on the wild side, don't be afraid to back under 1.5 and even 0-0 as well. But I'll be playing a little bit safer, backing the under 2.5 goals at 1.87. Fulham versus Spurs.
I like the look of Fulham on this. Like, you can tell Spurs got basically they're focusing on the Europa League, right? Son didn't start. There was other players on the bench. Like, they're clearly not focused on that. I think Johnson came out at half time. Maybe he's getting rested for this game against whatever you call him.
AZ Alkmaar.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, them lot. But look, they're playing that game at home, and then they're playing Fulham on Sunday, and then there's an international break. So maybe he might put a strong squad out on Fulham, right? But if I was him, I'd be resting the players and just go. Like, you just go for the Europa League, right? You've got nothing else to play for. You can't get Europe other ways, so you might as well try to win it and get Champions League, right?
100%.
So I think, yeah.
And I think Ange's come to that conclusion.
Yeah,
as you
so
say with his selections.
I felt based on that, like, I wanted to get on Fulham earlier before the Spurs game, but I missed the boat, and the price went from like 1.85 minus quarter down to like 1.75, so I still think there's a bit of value. So I'm back in Fulham just straight up on a win. You can get evens on that.
What do you know? We've got the exact same official tip.
I told you about it earlier in the week.
Fulham, no. Fulham are, I've just checked, are 2.06 on the exchanges.
Okay.
Yep. So for all the reasons you just said, I think Spurs' minds are elsewhere. Fulham are still massively in the fight for the European places.
Yeah.
They've had a great season, and I think they'll win this game.
On expected points, they should be fifth.
So still underperforming slightly in terms of that. So
are like, wherever they are, like 13th or whatever.
So they can get even closer to that. Obviously, against Spurs' performances as well, not just the the team's elections from Ange in terms of prioritising Europe, which I think he's right to do, but I'm not 100% convinced that the players are bought into him at this point. I think the lack of the plan B is he managed to paper over the cracks last season, but those cracks are coming out this year, and he's not going to be the Spurs manager for much longer. That's the bottom line. He's obviously going to see the season out now. It looks like. Be shocked if he was manager in the first game of next season. All right. Finally, Leicester versus United.
I'm gonna go for a bit of a rogue one here, but mainly based on price. I think United at 1.85 is a bit too short. Like, I know Leicester not firepower, etc., but United is just, I don't know. Again, really inconsistent, right? I think they're playing Europa League as well during the week, so might factor in. Right? Are they away? Or?
No, we're at home this week.
Okay, all right. So helps a little bit. Shorter trip to Leicester, but solely on price, I'm going to back Leicester plus 3/4. So basically, I'm going to maybe dread this, but I got to back the science behind it, back the numbers right. At 1.8, so basically, if they lose by one, you get half your money back. So you just need a draw. The reason why I'm a bit more comfortable in this bet is because I was watching a price earlier in the week, and the price was evens plus 0.75, and it soon shifted straight after the Leicester game. So straight after, Leicester played against Chelsea, bear in mind they lost. It went down from evens down to 1.8. That's like a massive shift, right? So clearly that they got the price wrong, right? So I expect that to come a bit more in. So I'm just basically basing that on the price. So yeah, that's my tip.
I don't hate it. I mean, I've not got an official bet on it, but I don't hate it. And it's hard to see United smashing anybody up at the moment. My personal viewpoint is United will win, but I think
Yeah, probably.
the most likely outcome is probably by a goal. I don't think they'll run away with it. I
Yeah.
can't remember the last time United ran away with a game. So, getting Leicester on your side in some capacity doesn't appeal as the worst option to me. But I hope sincerely we're both wrong. Obviously, so depressing to talk about it. Anywho, let's recap. So for me, I've got Everton to win.
Oh, on recap, what about the Liverpool Newcastle EFL final?
You want to do the Carabao? Go on then. What you got?
Nothing.
Oh,
I think
good
I just
start
think
then.
Liverpool
Yeah,
win
excellent.
it.
Yeah, I agree. Liverpool to win it. I think they'll be too strong for Newcastle. I think that it's such a Arne Slot's managing the side quite well. I feel like they've also got quite a lot of depth. I do still feel Liverpool are actually not quite as good as everybody thinks. I think there's an element of everybody else this season has just been so
City have been
poor.
awful. There's no one been challenging Liverpool, right?
They've just had a free run. I bet Arne Slot cannot believe his luck. He's
Yeah, I
walked
mean,
in and literally everybody's just rolled out the red carpet for him.
even Arsenal, like, not as good as last season, right?
Especially Arsenal. This was the
Yeah,
year that they really had to go and win it. The last 2 years they didn't win it, but you kind of went, well, they're still developing, they're still building. Then they
yeah.
splash out a fortune on Declan Rice and all these other players and so on and so forth. And this was the year they were meant to go and win it. So for me, it's a big failure of a season for Arsenal. Now they're in a top four race. Liverpool are going to win more than one trophy this year, and it will start with the Carabao Cup.
All right.
All right, let's do a recap. So I've got Everton to win, home to West Ham.
I've got Everton minus a quarter.
I've got Forest to win away at Ipswich. I've got Brighton at plus 0.75 on the handicap, on the Asian handicap against City. I've got Wolves to win away at Southampton, and I've got under 2.5 goals in Arsenal versus Chelsea. Sorry, and the last one, the sixth one, is Fulham to beat Spurs at home, which is 2.06. So they're my 6 tips. I'll be doing all 6 as singles for my regular stake. It wasn't a great week last week, but in terms of the season, it's still looking very, very healthy, plus double digits. In terms of the ACCA, you can put it together for around a 55 to 1 shot if that floats your boat. Yourself?
Everton minus a quarter, Fulham win, and then Leicester plus 0.75.
Cool. All right, it's 3 bets there again. If you want to combine them, you're probably looking at odds of 6, 7 to 1, something along those lines.
Yeah.
If you want to look at winning a little bit bigger, with selections that are designed to offer you a little bit more of a safety net on the Asian handicap. That's it from us. Enjoy the football this weekend. You're off to Mexico, aren't you?
Yeah, Mexico Thursday for international break, isn't it?
You're going to be on
Thank
here
God
with
for that.
Are you going to be on here with the tan next episode?
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, on that note, thanks everybody for listening, for tuning in. Good luck with your bets. Take it easy for the rest of Cheltenham.
Yeah,
football
take it
is
easy.
where it's at.
Save your money for these tips.
Exactly that, right? Then you can blame us instead of yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
All the best, everyone.
Cheers.